Hi, thanks for stopping by Grains in Small Places. Have you ever seen or tried one of those big, like, Poof Dutch Baby Pancakes and thought maybe we could do that with fresh milled flour? Well, we're gonna try that today, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do is get your cast iron skillet. Now mine is, I believe, a 12-inch cast iron skillet. You can use the 10-inch cast iron skillet, but it'll be slightly thicker. You're gonna wanna make sure you preheat your oven with your cast iron skillet in. This is one of the tricks to making this work, is this is nice and hot. I have not tried this recipe not in a cast iron. I've heard that it may work in like a glass dish, but I haven't tried that. So let me know in the comments down below if you've had success with that. So we're gonna go ahead and take this on into our oven and get it preheated. Okay, you're gonna wanna preheat the oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. It may go for 25 minutes, just keep an eye on it. And you want to make sure that you're preheating your pan. Preheat that cast iron pan. So we are going to need some butter in that pan after it's preheated, but you want to put the butter in right before you're going to pour the batter in. That way your butter doesn't start to burn or brown, because at 450 degrees Fahrenheit, if I were to preheat the butter in there, it would start to burn or brown or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just set this to the side and have it ready. We're going to use about 4 tablespoons, which is about a half a stick of butter. You can use salted or unsalted butter, just adjust. This is salted butter, so I'll probably put a little less salt in the recipe. If you're using unsalted butter, use the full, I think it's a half a teaspoon of salt. So while that is preheating, I'm going to go ahead and measure out my wheat berries. So when I measure out the wheat berries, that's how much it'll give me in weight of flour. So I'm going to be using soft white wheat today. I'll make sure to put a link in the description box below for like all the equipment that you see me using. I got this brand new scale. It's wonderful from Nutri-Mill, like these storage containers and my mill and everything like that. So I'll put that down there for you. I get questions sometimes of where to find those. And we're gonna use about 120 grams of soft white wheat. I really recommend using soft white wheat here because you want something that's not going to form any gluten. You could probably get away with using spelt, but really the best results have been just a soft white wheat for me. Okay, 121, we'll take that. Okay, and we're gonna head on over to our mill. Today we're going to be using my new classic grain mill. I do have a coupon code that can save you $20 off your grain mill from Nutri-Mill. Coupon code is GRAINY. I will put that and a link to the mill down in the description box below. Okay, so while that's milling, you can go ahead and get the rest of your ingredients ready. I'm going to go ahead and put my bowl here and clear or tear that out. And I'll make sure to put a link in the description box below to the recipe. That way you can print that off or have it for your records. We're going to use about 160 grams of milk. You could also use buttermilk here or whey. Anything like that would be delicious. Let's see, a little bit more. And if you've never had these puff pancakes, I guess, or Dutch babies or whatever you want to call them, they truly surprised me. Their flavor kind of reminded me of like French toast, but easier, I guess, if that's any way to describe it. But I had one of these for the very first time maybe a couple weeks ago, and I've been really enjoying these, so I thought I would share it with you. These are actually like a German style pancake. Some people call them puff pancakes or Dutch babies. There's probably a whole bunch of other names for them also. But it's just a really simple recipe that is great for when you need something just really quick. I'm gonna put in my half a teaspoon of salt, maybe a little light on that for me. And here is our freshly milled flour. I think I'm done weighing here. So I'll set that to the side. So I wanted to note, every time you're using these impact mills, they have little cups inside of them. This one has a larger cup than like the actual just little impact mill, or I think even the Wonder Mill has one of these. You want to make sure you're emptying that cup out. That's what has your finer flour in it. So I like to just give it a little tap for any of the flour to kind of fall off from milling. And then we're just going to take this, and I'm just going to put this whole amount right in here. Of course, you can use a spoon if you prefer, or some kind of thing to get it out. Okay, and then we're gonna add in our eggs. I also wanted to mention, with the classic grain mill, in the bottom where you have the flour, you wanna make sure you have that bin pushed in all the way. But this just makes such beautiful, nice, fine flour. I don't know if you can see that. See if I can get it to focus. It's just nice, beautiful, fine flour. And we're going to whisk this together. Now, you can make this in a blender if you prefer, because you really want this to be mixed together really well. And you're gonna want this batter to just sit a little bit before you put it in the hot pan. Make sure there's no clumps of flour, and just kind of beat it nice and aggressively. I'm gonna go ahead and use 5 eggs. If you have really like giant eggs, I know that some people that have like their own chickens will message me and tell me that their eggs were really huge. If you have giant eggs, you may only want to do 4, but I find that 5 makes a great amount if you just have this normal size, like large egg. 3, 4, 5. Tell me all about enjoying raising chickens where you have the nice free-range eggs that are not crazy expensive at the store. I envy you a little bit. Let me know a little about that. I think that that would be such a fun experience. I grew up sort of in the country, but I didn't have chickens growing up. But my husband, Matt, he grew up in the country, and they did have chickens as he was growing up. So he really enjoys having chickens. So maybe one day. Before we started traveling in our RV, we actually had, I guess you could call it a mini farm. We had miniature horses, and we showed them and raised them and bred them. And we had sheep and a llama and regular size horses and cows and all of that. And when we decided to hit the road in 2015 and kind of travel the United States, we basically put everything up for sale and went to traveling. And haven't looked back yet. It's been about 10 years, so maybe even, yeah, about 10 years. Okay, so you want to make sure that you whisk this really good together. Like I was saying, you can put this in a blender if you want. But you want to try to whip some air in and make sure there's no clumps left. So by the time your oven is preheated, this will probably be ready to go. But if your oven preheats really quickly, then you may want to let it still just keep preheating while you get this nice and whipped. And let this sit for like 10 minutes in the moisture. Okay, so ours is almost preheated and ready to go. And when you get it out of the oven, make sure you're really careful because it's very hot. So I'm gonna set that to the side and then we'll be back. Okay. Okay. We are nice and preheated. This is very hot. So now that it's nice and hot, I'm gonna put that 4 tablespoons of butter in here. I just kind of like to move it all around until it melts. As you can see, it's nice and hot. You just want to make sure you get it a little bit up on the sides and make sure your pan is nice and seasoned. Okay, and now comes the fun part. We're just gonna pour this right in to our hot pan. And this is so fun to watch because some of the magic happens just towards the very end of it being in the oven. So it's a really fun treat if you have small kids to kind of watch it and see the results after it comes out of the oven. So we'll be back as soon as it's done. Also, it's important to note that you don't open the oven door while this is going, especially at the beginning, like the first 10, 15 minutes. Otherwise, that could mess up your puff. Okay, here it is. I don't know if you can see from the side. I'll try to get a better photo, but or I'll insert a photo where you can see it from the side. But as soon as you pull it out, you want to serve it pretty quickly because it does start to kind of deflate and come down a little bit. But it's so delicious. Thanks for hanging out with me today while we made this really fun recipe. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I'll put the recipe down in the description box below where you can find this recipe and a whole bunch of other recipes all dedicated to fresh milled flour. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And thanks for stopping by Grains in Small Places. Goodbye.